Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how to calculate your menstrual cycle from home. I get this question tons and tons and tons of times from friends, from younger girls, from older girls, so from women. Most of the times we don't know how to calculate our cycle. Probably we keep hearing people saying, oh, my cycle is 28 days, mine is 21 days, mine is 27 days, and we don't have an idea of how they come up with those days. So today I'm going to be teaching you that and how to come about or to come up with your menstrual cycle, or to know averagely what your cycle is like. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is the importances of knowing your cycle. For example, if I know my cycle is 26 days, if it's within those times that 26 days have passed since I last went in my periods, it will be important for me to remember a pad to carry when I'm going, to visit friends, to go out, to go for camping. I'll always carry a pad because I know my days are near. Then the other thing is why you want to know, it's that it helps you plan better, especially these exciting outings. We are going for bungee jumping, we are going for, in a place that is different from what you've been, seeing all the time. So imagine you're in the club, with friends, and then you keep on searching for one. All your friends don't have, because their cycles are different, and probably they don't go in the same, they don't go in their periods on the same day with you, but you keep on searching in the club. Hello, do you have an extra pad? Hello, do you have a pad with you? It messes you up, disorganizes your outing and all that. So the other importance is knowing your menstrual cycle is really, really important, because it helps you, care better for yourself. For example, if you know your periods are near, you'll clean your body, you'll do some exercises, you'll do some shopping, you'll do some rest. Probably you'll cancel all travels if you have extremely painful menses. If they're painful, it will be easier for you to say, oh, I need medicines, my periods are near, let me purchase my drugs for helping me during my menses. So it helps you with a lot of things. So majorly those are the two I'm going to talk about. Then the other thing is, what do you need to calculate your cycle at home? I remember, I think I started struggling with calculating cycles when I was in, senior 4. My mom told us about this thing that you have to calculate your cycle, and even she didn't give me a reason. So I didn't know why I need to track my cycle or why I need to know it. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is, what do you need to calculate your menstrual cycle? You don't need a phone. You don't need, I don't know what else comes to your mind. You don't need sophisticated things to calculate your cycle or to know what your cycle is. All you need is, one, you need a book. So a notebook, an exercise book. You can start with anything, or a paper that you don't throw away if you're very good at handling things. Then the next thing you need is a pen or pens. I don't know what you prefer. There are those students who used to be so colorful. There are those who are colorful. They want to write in different pens or that. So you need a pen. Then the other thing you need is a calendar. So a calendar may be on your phone, may be on your wall in the sitting room, may be in the classroom, it may be anywhere, but all you need is a calendar. And when you're at school, you pretty know much the days, so it is good for you to have only those 3. That's what it takes for you to know. So the next thing I'm going to be looking at is, now how do you calculate? You've taken a long time telling us the importances, now you've told us what we need, so how do we actually do it? Guys, all you need is your book and your pen. So let's put these two to use. I'm going to use a new page. It's important that you use a fresh page or a fresh book, so that you know that this is where you'll be tracking your cycle from. So let's say I bleed today. Today is the 18th. So what I'll do, I'll write the date of the month, the date, the day of the week, the year, and then also I'll do write that as my number 1. So every time you bleed again, that's a new cycle, you record it as number 1. So I'm writing 1. Number 1 is the 18th of July 2020. This is the very first day that I have bled. The preceding days that will come by, the 19th, the 20th, the 30th, up to when I bleed again, I'll keep recording them down, the days of the week or the days of the month or the days of the year. Then at the same time I continue with, numbering it as 1, 2, 3, 4. So this was 1 was the very first day that I bled. Subsequent days I record them as 2, 3, 4. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So you write this until the day you bleed again. So I've written here for you one example so that we don't have to go through the entire writing process. But if you notice that here I recorded July 18th, 2020 as my first day of my menstrual cycle. So the preceding days I put number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, as well as writing the dates, the day of the week, preferably also the date. Just specifically write the date. So you see that I wrote this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to when I assumed, let's assume that the next month I bleed on I chose the 23rd day, but I chose the 9th of August. So I've been recording, so it's important that you write your days, 18th, 19th, 20th, up to that date. So this section we have the dates, this section we have the number of the cycle. So on the 23rd day, which happens to be the 9th, I said that if it's the 23rd day and I'd recorded it down, but then I find myself bleeding for the first time again that month, I'll not write it as the 23rd day. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and put it as my number 1. So number 1 is that date that I start bleeding again. So I'll continue writing the days after my period, 2, 3, 4, up to when I bleed again. So let me say after like 27 days, I do bleed again. Let me say, assuming that it's the 9th of maybe September. So on the 9th of September is I write down that 9th September is my first day. I don't record it as the 27th day. So what you do is you do this for a couple of at least 3 months to 6. We advise 3 months to 6 so that you can track properly your cycle. So what you do at the end is simple. It's simple mathematics. So you get the 23 days. Let me say that next month it was after 27 days. The other month I bled again after 25 days. The other month I bled up to 20 after 26 days. So what you do, let me say you've tracked it for 4 months. So you write those number of days that you spent from the time you first bled to the time you bled again. So if I bled first on the 1st of July and I bleed again on the 29th of July, 29th of July I don't record it as a day, I record it as the very other first time I see blood again. So every time I see blood, it's a new day, it's a new cycle, I write 1. I continue writing all the numbers, the days, until when I bleed again. So when you bleed again you start afresh from 1. So what you do, you get the sum of those numbers, then you divide by the number of months you've been following. That is 4 months. Then we are getting the average. So we are doing the average. It's the number of days that you've been bleeding to the divide by the number of the months. Then what you get is the average cycle that you personally or I personally will have. So let me adapt this and show you guys. So if I do the average of the number of days that I've been, from the number of days from when I bleed to when I bleed again, divide by the number of months for how long I have followed my cycle, I find the average by the number of months, then I do get an average. So the average that I've got is 23. So if you get an average of 23, your cycle is 23. You can, sometimes it changes. For example, you've traveled. Like I personally, whenever I travel, my menses try to go out of place, but maybe you've traveled, you're stressed, you're back to school, so it might change a bit, but at least you roughly know that every after 23 days I'm expecting my periods, or at least by between 21 to 25 days I should be getting my periods. So you move with your pads, you prepare yourself, you buy your medications that you need, you do the shopping that you need. So basically that is it. If you've not understood anything for any reason, if you feel that you've just not understood what I'm trying to say, or you need another elaborative lecture on this, kindly inbox me. I'll be happy to teach you again, because it's very, very tricky for people to get it, but the moment you get it, it's very easy. It's very easy for you, and when you become a pro, you don't have to keep writing every day. So the other thing is that you might not want to go every day, like in the morning you write. So what you do, record the first time you bleed. So every time you bleed, write it as 1. So what I do when I don't have time is I'll write the day I've bled first, let me say 1. Then I don't write anything till the day I bleed again. I go to my notebook and I write 1. So what I do is I go back and be like, how many days have passed? So whatever days have passed from the time I bled are the days I put there, that this month it was 27 days. So from the time I bleed again, I again monitor, but not writing specifically, but the moment I go in my periods again, I write another 1. So you do it consistently, you do it for a longer time, you'll be able to track your periods so that you prepare better, so that you manage yourself better. Yes, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up. Give a thumbs up to this video if you've liked it. Recommend a friend to watch it. Forward it to anyone you think is struggling with coming up with their cycle. And let me know how you've been calculating your cycles at home. Thank you so much. I am called Nurse Maria. Bye.